We are all the way back. It's your boy Jay Green, Jay's Green Room, Green Room TV. Shit, sometimes it's some Green Room Uncut. But right now, we doing something different. It's called the questions. I be seeing a lot of shit that be popping up, and it be like, man, the shit be needing more commentary. I want to go ahead and do this solo content, but I don't want to necessarily make it about my opinion. I want to make it like the questions. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing shit going on. So instead of coming and giving my opinion and giving like, all this sauce about what I think it is and what it should be, I'ma just post the questions and we together, comment section as a collective, we'll come together with some answers. So I'm just gonna pose the questions, but of course I'm gonna bring the topics. And if y'all been watching Green Room TV for any amount of time, y'all know that I'm good at asking questions. So today what we got up is Cardi B. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. This is the questions. So we're going to start with the who. Cardi B, 32 years old. Stefon Diggs, 31 years old. Of course, Cardi B, 3 kids with Offset. Offset had kids before Cardi. Offset was a rapper with the Migos. The Migos are officially done. As far as they wave, I don't know, Offset or like Quavo. You know, the whole thing with Takeoff, shit sad. R.I.P. Takeoff, man, for real, for real. But the Migos, their wave is done. Offset has been depicted as like a notorious cheater with Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? And so Cardi B, is a felonious broad. No disrespect, but she's felonious, setup chick, a stripper from the South Bronx, Dominican and Trinidadian, loud talking, attitude, in your face, hot colors. Cardi B is that type of girl. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with being who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? If that's your expression, I respect that. But you know what I'm saying? Cardi B represents a lot of she represents a lot for the modern woman and not like traditional style women that like just take shit and just, you know what I'm saying, go with the flow. So my question now with the Cardi B and Stefon Diggs thing is like, is this for real? It's really for real. Because now, if Cardi B and Stefon Diggs really take this thing all the way, this ain't no like Brittany Renner, Kevin Gates shit. You know what I'm saying? Not this past weekend, but the weekend before, Cardi solidified it with the pictures on the boat, the flowers, the cards and candy, the whole 9 yards. But now they're really going all the way there with this relationship thing, and they got the cutesy thing going on. You know what I'm saying? And even more about this story has been developing that Offset is the one who introduced them, supposedly. Now, I ain't gonna get too much in like the relationship gossip shit, but of course, I got questions. Now, my first question after my first question is what? What the helly? What's going on? You know what I mean? In years of the past, traditionally how we know it, you got 3 kids, you got like that type of style Cardi B got. You know what I'm saying? You get cheated on. The man saying, hey, you can't do no better. You can't find no better. But I'm here to tell you fellas today that Cardi B marks a moment in history in the United States of America where we really got to understand what's really going on. It really seems like the women is running this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm never going to switch sides on who I'm for, but we got to really start looking at this shit. Now, of course, most women who look at Cardi B, who enjoy the situation, if you look in the comment sections, Instagram, everything, women are championing this shit because it represents what they would want for themselves if they were in that same situation. But what we got to also understand is that Cardi B is a celebrity, Stefon Diggs is a celebrity. And the way things work for them generally doesn't work for most people. But most people look to them and aspire to have what they have, even though it's Offset. Not to say Offset, but even though it's Offset, it's not really reality. You know what I'm saying? Because most people don't live that type of lifestyle. They don't have many money that way. They don't have that many eyes on them. It's different when you're actually there, right? So now, Cardi B, I believe, is about to break the mold and change the game forever. All that shit your granddaddy was talking about, your old man, your uncles and them, the chauvinistic game is out the door, man. That's just how I feel, you know what I'm saying? And Cardi B is about to be the representation of that. Now, she's not the only one who's moving like this, but she's about to be like the record breaker. Now, of course, we got Tiana Taylor, who just clocked Iman Shumpert over the head recently and went on to a different type of nigga, living her life while he's, scraping up the raps, you know what I'm saying? And we also got like, it's a thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing. But so, if Cardi B really gets the ring and the baby from Stefon Diggs, it's going to change the game forever. Like, seriously. The social contract between men and women in the United States of America will never be the same again. Because Cardi B is going to be like Rosa Parks. She's going to be like Susan B. Anthony. She's going to be the face of the change. You know what I'm saying? When did this really happen? Well, it started with Sierra. Remember they had the Sierra prayer? Anyhow, Cardi B gets into the Sierra Club, it's over, y'all. Pack it up. Passport bros, whatever y'all want to do, man. But let's get real, you know what I'm saying? The women is getting money. They doing shit differently. I will never betray my manly wiles and my nature, and I will always be a subscriber to the true game of what the social contract between men and women is. But I'm not gonna play blind out here. The game is over. If Cardi B gets the ring and the baby from Stefon Diggs, it's over. Let's look into it a little bit, because some people say, "Hey, she's getting the same type of guy she already had. Even Stefon Diggs is gonna do even worse." And the funny thing about it, when they first popped out, was at the Boston and Knicks game, which is kind of almost exactly the way they popped out at the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl game with Offset. It's like the same shit. But it first popped out, people thought it was speculation. Some people even speculated that she was messing with him while they was pregnant. You know what I'm saying? But it really gets bad when Cardi drops the snippet to the diss song for Offset.
Yeah, yeah, outside niggas love a outside bitch. Don't be mad when they get some outside. Yeah, 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 When I tell you these niggas ain't shit, please believe me. They gon' fuck on anything, these niggas way too easy.
A lot of times men be talking about people be simping, this, that, and the third. It's an underwritten code with men when it comes to dealing with women. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times, women are important to us as men, so a lot of men try to influence the culture of how we all deal with women. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times guys will say, "Oh, you're doing too much for her. You're doing too much for you're doing this. You shouldn't do that. You don't want them to do this." They try to put it but I'm here to tell you, my friend, it's 2025. ChatGPT is on the loose. Man, people gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do, man. And the game is really over. And I encourage men to reach deep down within and understand that we got to start from scratch. We got to start a new game. And it starts with getting money and taking care of yourself, King. You know what I'm saying? Because she going to do what she got to do, and she going to do what she want to do. But we also at a point where we no longer in a patriarchy. You know what I'm saying? As an American society, we actually live in a matriarchy. You know what I'm saying? Women get the child support. Women get the alimony. You know what I'm saying? And when she's done with you, she's done with you, because her feelings work different. So when she pushes you out, it's over. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage men to see this. You know what I'm saying? Now Stefon Diggs, you know what I'm saying? He could fuck around and play her and do one for the home team. But the way it's looking right now, a lot of times when these young boys be getting money, he signed a new contract recently with New England. They move different from the average man. And the average man don't understand that. And I'm here to tell you guys, if you ain't never really been getting money and having fun, enjoying yourself and your time with a woman, you would never really understand what's going on with Stefon Diggs and Cardi B. Because when the bill don't matter and you young, you got money, the shit paid for, and you having fun, and you've been doing what you want to do, you really don't give a fuck, man. When you really get to lay next to the models and you really get to do what you want to do, it's a whole different ball game from when you broke and you're talking about, oh, no, I never do this and I never do that. But when you young and you getting money and you in that mode, it don't really fucking matter, man. And you're going to fuck with the people that make you happy and make you feel good. And I think that's what's going on with Stefon and Cardi. They happy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if Cardi get the ring and the baby, it's going to be like, I feel like it's going to be a change in the game forever. You could have babies from another nigga. You could be made a mistake on your last nigga. But as long as you getting money and you bossing up and you a woman and you about your shit and you healed and you doing what you got to do and you attractive, you got a BBL, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? These young motherfuckers don't give a fuck. So, but if you can't be in the situation or the shoes of a guy like Stefon Diggs, 31 years old, $40 million contract, his brother is also in the NFL, 5 years younger than him. I believe plays for the Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs. So, you know, his family is doing good. He ain't worried about the shit y'all worried about. You know what I'm saying? But I want to put everybody on alert that Cardi B is about to change the game, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Why would this be important, though? Because times is changing, man. And you got to deal with women differently now. I hate to say it. You got to always keep the same morals, but things are changing and changing rapidly. This is why this is important. You know what I'm saying? But for real, man, I think Stefon and Cardi just having a blast, you know what I'm saying? But anyhow, Cardi becomes a member of the Sierra Club, it's over, guys. It's really already over. You know what I'm saying? But, you know. But let's take a step back and look at the time when Stefon Diggs had a media personality come into the Minnesota locker room, and they, you know, interviewed everybody with a random question like, of all the guys on the team, and, you know, a football team is hundreds of guys. Of all the guys on the team, you know, who's the guy you would least not want to date your sister? And Stefon Diggs was the unanimous.
Would you least like to date your sister?
What the hell? Diggs.
Why Diggs?
Man, no. We're going to leave it like that. No.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Oh, Stefon Diggs.
Why Diggs?
He's crazy. He's just outrageous. Don't know what he's going to say. Just don't know what to expect every day. So he couldn't date my sister.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister?
Least like to date my sister, Diggs. 100%.
Why Diggs?
Because he's not a guy that you want to bring home to your parents. Like, you don't want your sister to bring him home to your parents, so therefore she can't date him.
What guy on this team would you least like to date your sister? And I might add, you're starting to be the runaway favorite for this.
Would nobody want me to date this sister? I'm a great guy. I'm actually a great guy.
There's actually seems to be a few guys that don't think that.
Feel differently about me?
Yeah.
They just don't know me well enough. That's what it is. It's the all right, who don't I want to date my sister? Weatherly.
Why Weatherly?
Because he's ugly.
I knew that was coming. That was the problem. He's hot. He's hot. Get the camera on him right now. He is hot. He is.
So like I say, it could end up being a classic situation where she get played, but look at the videos, man. The proof is in the pudding. The kids and Stefon got the same hair braided, right? You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Cardi is about to change the game. How did this happen, y'all? How did this happen? That's the main question. Am I wrong? Am I looking at it different? But I want to know, how did this happen, man? From the future to the Sierra, it's the same.